Welcome, everybody, to episode 3 of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, After Show. I am, of course, as the little name badge says, Jason. Joining me, as always, is the incredible Dove himself, Joe.
You wouldn't like me when I'm flying.
We've got, of course, the irrepressible Rick. Rick, how are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you guys? Good to be here.
And we've got, I think the logo is hiding it, so I'm going to have to get rid of that. Here we go. Savage Billy in the house.
There he is.
Love it.
Billy Smash.
Well, here we are, guys. And, of course, this show is spoiler filled. So just, I've had some comments. There's spoilers, all right? It's called an after show, meaning and implying that we watched it. So, you know.
Yeah,
there we go. So, but we are in, of course, episode 3 already. So
I can't believe it. So this is almost over.
Yeah, almost over. it feels like that when the episode starts. Don't you find that? It's
this show is so short. It's crazy.
It feels like we're just watching a YouTube clip sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
But here we go. Episode 3. Yeah, before we get into talking about it, there has been a lot of negative feedback.
Ooh,
Jesus.
The dogs are barking and they want blood.
Including Robert Mara, who said, hey,
Robert.
Got audience.
I'll just put it out there. There's a lot of people not happy with this. Seems to be the guys, guys in their mid-20s seem to be really upset about this show quite a lot. So, but anyway, let's just get started. I'll start with Savage Billy, mate. Just give me your general overall thoughts of this episode.
What the hell is that?
It's got his own soundboard finally.
I was like, okay, so we watched a recap. Now, what's the actual episode? Is it going to start?
Yeah.
Okay, you told me everything that I'm going to see in this episode. Now, when are we actually going to see visuals?
Yeah.
I was like, we were told that the Blonsky trial was going to start. I was like, yes, we're going to see. That's it? It's over?
Oh, there was never a trial. It was
the parole hearing, but I was like,
yeah.
I was like, I thought she would have been working on the defense. We would have seen like her thinking about stuff, or like, I thought like Blonsky would be in more than like the one episode. And also I kind of laughed because I can see why some of the people were pissed because there were so many fan theories last week. I remember so many people like, oh, the 7 soulmates is going to be the Thunderbolts. It's going to be the Thunderbolts. And then it just turns out, oh, it's just his prison groupies. And they Ralph Bonered us. They bonered and slaughtered us.
Yeah, it's just a cast from that Midsummer movie.
Mm.
You know, those 7 girls.
Because they couldn't get the girl because she's Black Widow now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, Rick, what were your thoughts? I know a little bit about your thoughts.
Yeah, I had a pretty rough week, and I thought, I'm going to watch it, and I wasn't in the right frame of mind, and I did not like the episode whatsoever. So then I thought, I'll recompose myself and watched it last night, and I actually broke it all down, and I actually did enjoy it. I like the fact there's actually 2 stories in this. There's a story A and there's a story B. Obviously, we know the story of Jen, and she's going to the parole and with Emil Blonsky, and then seeing his, all those character witnesses that Jen has brought up. And then we've got to see Wong. That side of things was really good. Then we got to see the other case with her other guy. What's his name? Pug. I think his name's Pug.
Yeah, Pug.
Who represents her previous co-worker. Dennis, who thinks he's, dating, Megan Stallion, the rapper, which was hilarious. Yeah, which was great. So you're going back and forth, and they kind of entwine together. I kind of dug that. I did like that. I enjoyed it. So, and then obviously the other little bit at the end, which was really, really cool. So, which we'll talk about.
Okay. What, you're talking about the after credit scene, Rick?
Not the after credit scene. Everyone's blown up about that. No,
that's the highlight of the episode.
Well, I'm obviously talking about the Wrecking Crew, how they introduced the Wrecking Crew into
the show. Who looked like they were dressed as Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder and Power Rangers. It was like
one of the guys looked like Casey Jones from the old
Ninja Turtles
Oh,
movie.
Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. He did. Oops.
All right, incredible, Dove. What were your general thoughts of this episode?
I mean, it was too quick, as they all are. But I really enjoyed watching it. I mean, Wong was a great return for this episode,
and a
It's
great
nice to see-
exit too.
and a great, very quick exit. You know,
Yeah.
you're under criminal consent, and I've got to go. See you later.
I cacked when I
Well,
saw
what
that.
I love that. I love that. I thought that was just brilliant. It was a lot of fun to have him on there. That actor's getting his just desserts because he's been in a ton of stuff. He's been in Blade Runner. He's been in
Benedict Wong.
Yeah, Benedict. His real name is Wong.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
He was
makes it
made.
easier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
perfect
made for it.
casting.
Yeah.
But you know, I think he's even been in Star Trek. But he is good to have as a cameo. And I like the fourth wall when she says, "Listen, don't think we're gonna have a cameo every week. I know we had Wong this week, and last week we had, you know what I mean." But she's like, but I'm sure next week there's gonna be another cameo, and I'm here for it. It's been a lot of fun. But I also like that they got into the attorney part of this series. She did breaketh down the law, and that was a lot of fun. And I did have a lot of fun with the elf, the shape-shifting elf. Yeah, that was cool. I thought that was clever. It was like, all right, we're gonna have a meta, but we won't have her fighting. There'll be a totally different aspect to it. And it worked really well. It was really cool to watch. So yeah, it was all that. Yeah.
Look, I kind of agree with bits of everything that you guys said. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really great. I do love it. It became what I thought it would be in this episode. It became the lawyer sitcom show.
Mhm.
And I felt for this first time we kind of hit that. Because She-Hulk, attorney at law. So I'm expecting Ally McBeal with She-Hulk. That was what I was always expecting. So for me, it felt like this episode was actually heading in that direction.
Yeah.
I like the stuff with Neil Blonsky. I really do. Yeah. Of course, it wasn't going to be a courtroom thing because he's already been caught. He's not judged for anything. It's a parole hearing because, why would he have to go back to court for a parole hearing?
Right.
So that works. But I actually, like Billy, thought it would be the whole season arc.
Yeah.
I literally thought that was what was going to be the core big story in this was going to be about Neil Blonsky. There was going to be like you were kind of saying, Billy, there was going to be investigations. There was
I thought she was actually going to be like
working the case.
I thought that was been like working the case.
Yeah.
100%. So
it seemed like her case was treated like the B plot to the Dennis case.
Well, the Dennis case was pretty funny and surprising they went with a B plot, but I'm kind of glad they did. I love the fact about that elf just didn't care.
No, she
that's what made that character work. She was having so much fun.
She was in the trailer, so we saw her in another scene, like in the city scene, which we didn't see yet.
Yeah.
No, I really did like that. She's amazing though. The Tatiana is just wow. So perfect for this role.
Did you guys watch Orphan Black yet?
No, I've never seen it. My
guys.
wife had seen it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, she's incredible.
She's incredible.
She's like
She's
10
incredible.
people.
Yeah, and everyone's different, and they even look different. How they did.
And if you got to mention, like, I got to chime in on one thing. If I have to mention one thing about Orphan Black, Tatiana actually does a better dance scene in that than she does in this.
Yeah, speaking of the dance scene,
there's a dance scene where she does like the dance with like all the clones. So she does like 10 different dance moves for 10 different characters that she's playing at the same time.
Yeah, it's really clever, and the way they film it's really good.
And they're all dancing with each other.
Robert says, "Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the booty shaking. Really?
Yeah, look."
I get it.
I get that. I totally get that. For me, I've never thought twerking was good in any way. I thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I don't think it's sexy.
Nope.
I don't think it's clever in any minuscule way. In saying that, it was a throwaway after credit scene, really, wasn't it?
Do you know why they did it?
No, I don't.
Why they did it?
Why they do it?
Because the actress wanted to do that with Megan Thee Stallion.
Well, Tatiana's a big fan of Megan
Yeah,
Stallion, and she
Tatiana.
didn't know
Actress.
that she was going to do that scene. And the director didn't tell her until the last minute because she knew that she'd probably freak out and that. And then she just, went with it. And it was just more of a, like Jay said, they just put it in because she was a fan, and that was it.
Right.
Oh
Right.
wow! So
And-
literally
no-
just
Yeah.
fan service.
Just
Wow.
fan service for
Wow!
Tatiana.
Wow!
There does seem to be. I think what a lot of people are struggling with in this, and we're talking about some of the negative feedback we're getting from the show. I think a lot of it comes from them probably the marketing doing a poor job and letting them know what this show is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like a lot of people are thinking, "Hang on a minute, this is not what you sold me. This is kind of different." Because I can't explain why everyone's watching the show, hating the show, but continuing to watch.
I kind of went in
Like,
hoping for like a Harvey Birdman attorney at law meets Harley Quinn.
Yeah, but maybe there's a different iteration like that. But in this current Marvel universe, they wouldn't go that far.
No,
That's too far for them.
no, and it's going
This
to
is
tie
as far
in.
as they're going to go.
Yeah, it's going to tie in with the larger universe, especially because, like our buddy Robert saying, just the beginning of the Secret Wars.
Hint.
Hint, hint. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little like droplets of Easter eggs across the episode. So, but we'll get into that later.
And we do have that. That's because I didn't even play what that episode was.
Yeah.
Remote. But let's do the next one.
Yeah. References.
Still don't have any music for that. Yeah. It should be that.
Yeah. I know we got the Thor
references.
speech
All right.
from
Has
the
anybody
elf.
got any references from the week?
Yeah, we got the Thor speech from the elf. She
Yes.
said, Asgard is not a place. Asgard is a people.
People. Yeah, that was her professional defense, though. Wasn't it?
That was hilarious. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, she's great though. No, that's just one bit of her going like, "Screw you guys, I'll do what I want."
That's
Yeah.
after she left.
She was
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her too.
Right.
Of course, we've got the reference to the Spider-Man film because
I'm
Wong
not
had
making
talked
everybody
about.
forget.
I'm not making everybody forget again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So I took notes. I took notes.
Yeah. There's that one. And you're right, Benedict Wong, mate. Is he now the current Nick Fury?
Sorcerer Supreme.
Like,
yeah.
I know he's Sorcerer
Voice of
Supreme, but
Supreme.
he's just in everything now.
Yeah, he is. He is.
That,
getting paid the
Nick
big bucks.
Fury type of
Yeah. Maybe.
Getting paid those
Maybe.
big cameo bucks.
Yeah.
That's it, mate.
yeah.
That's it.
He has speaking lines, so he's getting paid per 150 per word there.
What else we got? References, guys. Anything else you picked up?
They still got the.
I mean, the Iron Man 3s.
Oh, the sneakers. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. We kind of mentioned it because it's a giant
For sure.
reference, but I'm surprised you guys haven't. We're not digging this a bit more.
Oh,
And that is,
the
of
Wrecking
course,
Crew. Yeah.
Wrecking Crew.
Yeah. We talked
All
about it a
right,
little bit. Yeah.
A little
This-
bit though.
This is
I
interesting.
don't think that was more of a
I've
reference,
got-
considering that's going to be like a theme of or recurring character like Titania.
Yeah, but
Yeah, well,
Yeah, Rick.
look, there are things though, like obviously we've got to break it down and why. And if you look at that episode and that particular scene, so obviously the Wrecking Crew's been around for a long time in the Marvel comics, right? So,
yeah.
1974 is when they first came out.
What is
in
what
Defender
is the
17.
Wrecking Crew though? Are they a bunch of
So the Wrecking
I
Crew
don't
is
know,
just
a bunch of
basically
villains?
A
a
mob
team. Well, they're just basically a group of guys, 4 guys made of construction background, right?
Mhm.
So we've got
Theme
4
villains,
construction workers.
Theme villains. Yeah. Not we're not
They're
talking,
villains?
you know.
Yeah, they're
village
villains. Mm-hmm.
People here. They're villains. They're villains. All right.
Young
So you
man.
got Bulldozer.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Young man.
You've got the
Yeah,
Wrecker.
yeah,
You've
yeah.
got Bulldozer. You've got Pole Driver, and you've got Thunderball.
Right.
So obviously they try to capture her to get her blood, but who? The big question is, who's their boss?
Right.
Who is running
Okay.
the show?
All right.
Right.
Who wants
So
it?
Great
in the
question,
comic, this is how She-Hulk gets her powers because it's from a blood transfusion as a failed mob hit on the attorney.
Correct.
So this
Thanks,
is like
Rob, for
a.
pointed that out.
What's
so
that?
who do you think?
Rob in the chat pointed that out.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Oh yeah, major reference to her origin.
okay,
Yeah,
major reference to her
To-
origin, the original gone wrong.
mom hit going wrong.
And it does create.
Oh, this is a good one.
Well, I was just about. I took it out of my mouth because I was going to mention the leader.
The leader.
Yeah, no, the
Wow.
leader. Well, that is one way to look at it. I don't think they're going to go the leader though, because I think that's too big a character to try and drop in here. People are going to hate my theory on it. I think it's the big baddie, Mr. Vincent D'Onofrio himself. Behind
Kingpin.
I think it's
Kingpin.
Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ironic
we know
because
Daredevil appears in this at one point.
yes, that's true. That's
So,
true.
and of course, Kingpin's always the big bad in New York, isn't he? He's the one controlling things. He's the one at the street level who knows what's going down. I don't know if She-Hulk's well known enough or a threat enough to be on a galactic scale being a fighter, but at this stage, I would see Wilson Fisk maybe trying to get it. I hope it's the leader, but I don't reckon.
And get what? Bring Samuel back. Samuel Stearns, the leader.
Oh, I don't think they're going to bring Samuel Stearns back. I think they're going to be like, that didn't happen.
Why
Yeah.
not?
I mean,
I
they could
why not though?
retcon.
You get and Timberlake Nelson, who played
He's
the
a-
leader in Incredible Hulk. Bring him back.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
They
Yeah.
brought everyone else back.
Might as
Captain
well.
Why
Ross
not?
got out. Like, look at General
right.
Ross.
General Ross, yeah.
I demoted him to a captain at one then.
Yeah.
General Ross. So yeah, I don't know.
And then you've also got the fact that as far as She-Hulk villains go, you have what's the one? She has a few like B-level randos that you could get. But
Yeah.
as far as the New York thing goes, Wilson Fisk makes a lot of sense. Kingpin,
Does it
because
just
they
seems
just
to tie in because
they-
you've got that Hawkeye.
well, not only that, but
Echo
Disney just got the deal to pull a lot of those shows out of Netflix.
yeah.
So right after She-Hulk ended for me, Daredevil comes up.
Oh, okay.
So on my Disney Plus, Daredevil's available now, but Daredevil wasn't
Yeah.
available.
Yeah,
You know?
no, we had all those Marvel shows move over as well. We got the same thing here.
Yeah.
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 Wilson Fisk reference to the Incredible Hulk because later, yeah, he
Watch
wanted to
that,
bring,
man.
and it would be,
That's right.
but I would doubt very much the leader would be that dumb to think that he could send
No.
a syringe to get the blood out.
No.
Yeah.
The leader's
Yeah.
an intelligent guy. He wouldn't be sending a B-level construction cosplayers to get blood out of She-Hulk. He couldn't
Yeah.
be that dumb.
No.
I have a theory.
Because Modoc's supposed to appear at some point too.
MODOK
So-
in this series.
No.
You never know.
That is a long
I
stretch.
still have a theory, but
Well-
I think people would be pissed if they do it.
But that's
Okay,
a big Hulk and She-Hulk
Sure.
villain. But go ahead, Billy.
Yeah.
I think Titania, wanting to boost her view count because she's an influencer, wants to try juicing with She-Hulk's blood, and she's thinking that she can use that to to enhance herself to raise her subscriber count.
I think we have a winner.
That
I
makes
think
sense.
that's it.
That
It
makes
does,
a lot of
because-
sense. Yeah.
You know, you brought her in for the first episode, and we know you don't hire that actress and just have her for a cameo.
Yeah.
She's been a lot of the social media plugging of that for this show.
Speaking of social media,
She'd be somebody who'd be an influencer that would pay
yeah,
construction
To do it.
cosplayers to do it.
yeah. So my mom's awake.
And
She
she'd be
says
dumb
hello.
enough to think she could do it with a syringe.
Yeah, that's true. That makes a lot of sense.
So
yeah, Modoc
what about-
wouldn't have been done that.
what about Adrian Toomes, the Vulture?
You really think Michael Keaton's coming back?
No, not for
Look-
this.
look
I
at
mean,
the-
they
look at
cut
the
him out of
weapons.
DC.
Look at-
They cut him out
Well,
of
look at
DC.
Look at the weapons they were using. They weren't
Yeah.
Asgardian weapons. They were Chitauri weapons, which were ones which he used to
He
fabricate.
snatched-
and
Yeah, but he
steal
wasn't
and
the
all
only.
that.
I wouldn't
It's a
think he'd
theory.
be the
Could
only
be.
black market dealer in that stuff. And I got to say with you, Rick, I
Or
love
Val.
the idea, but I'm telling you, no way Sony allows that. No way.
Well, yeah.
Because the
Or
Sony
Val.
Disney relationship isn't as strong as it
Yeah,
once was. So they're not
Yeah.
allowed to. I'm never going to let any of their B grade players. That's why everything's gone very quiet with Marvel Studios and Spider Man now. Have you not
Yeah.
noticed?
There
Yeah.
hasn't been any
You know,
talk
any
about the
reference-
next
even in the-
Spider-Man movie.
Even in the logo, guys, he's not in the logo anymore. When he
Yeah, I noticed that when they do the Marvel thing, he's not there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's different.
Well, what about Val? What about Val? She's still connected she could possibly be one of them as well. She's
Maybe.
putting a team together. She was planning, with
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
doing
I-
Thunderbolts.
John Walker.
She's
you
doing-
were
yeah,
saying,
she's busy
She's
building
doing
like
Thunderbolts. Yeah, she's
So
doing
it could
Thunderbolts.
be that
stuff.
connection there. Who knows?
Okay. Coming back
yeah,
to the
yeah.
reference with coming back to the reference around the Abomination and Thunderbolts. Does this now, because he's hooked up with 7 hippie chicks, do you think this cast doubt on him actually being in the Thunderbolts movie
Yes.
as a cast member? I think
agree.
it does too. I
Yeah.
think it now throws doubt whether the Abomination will be a character in that film.
Yeah.
Because they have not announced who the Thunderbolt members
No.
are.
No.
No,
No.
not
We
yet.
know it's sneaker Captain America. We know he's definitely going to be one. We
Yeah,
know
which
it,
I can't wait for because
Yeah,
I
that's 'cause he's
really
actually good.
like.
and that's
Yeah.
what's his name's son too.
Yeah,
Ego.
it's a Russell.
Kurt Russell's Kurt
Kurt
Russell's
What's his
real
name?
son. Yeah.
Will Russell. What's his
Will Russell. Yeah, I think we'll say
Will
Will. That
Russell?
sounds good. Will sounds good.
We'll go with Chet because I like
Chris.
Chet.
Chet
We'll go
Russell.
with Chet Russell.
Yeah, what about Billy?
Yeah, so
Billy Russell. Yeah.
and we know Baron Zemo's in the cast.
Yeah. Zemo's in it. Yeah.
So you know those two would definitely be in it. See. Okay, you're only going to have one monster, aren't you, in that cast?
Mhm.
You don't have 2 Hulks in the Avengers, right? You only have
Correct.
one.
Right.
So I'm betting that it's more likely that we're going to get Red Hulk than we would Abomination.
And we're gonna have to get a different Red Hulk.
Because I don't see a cast of Thunderbolts having a Abomination and a Red Hulk. I don't think that works. That's my money on. My money's on Red Hulk, people.
Certain? Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe. It's a good theory.
good theory.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
pay me for that
I
theory,
like it.
please. Love the
Yeah.
videos. Pay
I'll
me
take
for
it.
the theory.
Speak-
Speaking of Abomination and Red Hulk and all that, did you guys like the way Abomination looked? Because there was a lot of heat. There was a lot of people bagging how he looked. I think he looked fantastic. And
Yeah.
they still
Yeah,
used his
I
normal
like
voice.
Billy though, because Billy said a few. We never explained his fins.
Yeah, because he
Yeah,
didn't have
his
an
fins
Incredible
come
Hulk,
from-
and his fins grew in. Like,
Everyone's, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
white.
but you were
Russell.
the one who
comparing
mentioned
it,
it. Didn't you, a couple of weeks ago? When why the hell they're not? Like, we don't know why.
I want to hear the backstory of the fins. Tell
Yes.
me.
I reckon
Well,
they experimented on him.
Well, they're
Sure.
I think people are comparing it from 2008's Incredible Hulk to this one, and that's why
Yeah.
people. But this is more comic book accurate than
Oh, absolutely.
2008.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
come up with a lame reason why he grew those fin ears. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
Maybe he can
Just give me a
swim
one-liner.
underwater.
That's all I want,
Explain why,
Rick. Rick, make
Bruce
it
didn't
happen,
heal his
Rick.
arm on his own.
Mate, he's I don't know. Maybe he can swim underwater. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe he could. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. But yeah,
What happened to Titania? So Titania
cameo,
is
she'll be back. She'll be back.
yeah, she'll be back next week probably.
No,
Yeah,
I reckon we go off. I reckon we see her to about episode 8. That's my theory.
Yeah. And Abomination is definitely faking his good deeds. I think so.
Is that what? Yeah, Abomination's faking the good deeds. Do you think? Because somebody else mentioned that to me. I was like, no, I actually thought he was legit.
I mean, maybe. Yeah,
I
because he
think
does.
he
God.
believes in what he is now. He is a good
Well,
guy. In a way.
I think he thinks I have 7 women. Life is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're willing
Did you
to
see
pay
those
for my
7
life.
women?
Yeah, the life is not good, Billy.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm saying if you're in prison, that actually is, I guess, good for prison luck.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in the day when they used to have shows like Oz. I'm sure like some of those people, if they got out, would have been happy for like that as a change of pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oz, what a great show that was.
No,
Yeah,
it was
getting Oz,
fantastic.
so
Yeah.
definitely very tonally different show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it. If no one else has got any other references,
And did he mention the dark dimension? Did Wong mention the dark dimension?
yeah, he mentioned
Right.
several different dimensions.
Yeah, right. I thought so.
Yeah,
he
he
was
kind of
like,
just listed a few through.
yeah.
Nothing new. Nothing new.
No,
It was
no,
like,
no.
You mentioned the
No.
mirror dimension, the dark dimension.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to free for all, which this show is anyway. It's a free for all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start. I've got some images here that Rick has been kind enough to supply for us.
Yeah.
Like he took the photos or something. No. He got them
Yeah.
from-
Yeah. He's
Here
a
we
photographer
go.
like
Yeah,
Spidey.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. The guy on the right who plays the douchebag, how amazing is he?
He's
a
How
great,
good is that guy?
great
Yeah.
douchebag.
Yeah.
Great
What do you
Yeah.
think of this pug guy? There's got to be something behind this pug guy. I think there's something. It's too
he's
nice.
the straight guy in the team because the secretary's a whack
reckon?
job. She-Hulk's a whack job. There's
You
all these
reckon?
quirky characters around. You need someone who's kind of the strong center, the guy that actually makes sense. And I reckon that's
Yeah.
what Pug is.
Okay.
What do you think, guys?
I don't know. I just feel like there's something to him. I don't know. Maybe someone's plotted him in there to keep an eye on She-Hulk. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
I just
actually,
got
in the
that
comic books,
feeling.
he was a love interest. That was the thing. Like,
Oh,
and he
mate,
was also
potentially.
co-chair when Spider-Man sued J. Jonah Jameson for slander
Yeah.
during like Dan Slott's run.
Oh, maybe
Very cool.
could be.
Wow,
Awesome
that's
deep cut.
Interest.
That's an
Deep
awesome
cut.
deep cut.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look and see what else. Yeah, we saw this image before, but
Yeah.
I really do like the design now. It is.
It looks
really
better.
good.
Yeah. It does look a lot better.
Without question. So it was never a complaint. It's a great looking design. And,
Yeah.
I hope we get to see a lot more of him. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
we've seen that one. What do you
Yeah.
think now? I found in episode 3. I'll be really honest with you. There were a few times that I really noticed bad CGI.
There's yes.
Yeah, you could really tell that some of these scenes are she's an
That was one of
incredibly
them.
difficult character to bring to life in CGI.
Yeah.
I hate to say
Well-
this because, like, I know a lot of people have been chiming in on the twerking scene. but
Yeah.
I thought the legs, for some reason, something about her legs when she was doing the twerking looked
Yeah.
like uncanny
Weird.
valley for me.
I
Yeah.
think
It
her
kinda
whole
looked like
walking is
fingers.
off. I feel like her
It's
walking.
when she walked in that photo that we just saw, that scene when she walks into the office, that
Ah.
seemed very
It looked like a PS2
CGI didn't look
cutscene.
But you know,
Just
she's
doesn't
got a
look
lot.
But even
going
in
against
this picture that you're posting, that the way her hair is, it
Yeah.
almost looks like she's green screened onto that.
It looks
room.
like a cutscene from a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not even a PlayStation 3. All the way
Yeah,
back to
dude,
PlayStation 2.
Hey, I know my generations. mate.
yeah. You got me there. Yeah.
No, I think the problem She-Hulk has is She-Hulk's a very specific green. So in the comic book, she's always a bit more green than Hulk
Yeah.
is. She's a bit of a darker shader.
Them
I
legs.
reckon that makes it harder. Yeah, I think it makes it harder for them to, because they have to go almost like that Kermit green or dark.
Yeah.
For her.
It's not easy being
I just
green.
doesn't, because you would have experimented a lot over the years with skin tones for the Hulk, and they've kind of found that perfect skin tone where it looks so good now when you see the Hulk that they may have
And there's no
must have had a lot more money.
Yeah, but there's no texture in her face, too.
No,
Where
well,
it's
see,
like-
the other thing is with the Hulk, they just probably ported that over, like they had the Hulk on file, the current version.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, they've had to build this CGI character from scratch with a lot less money.
Yeah,
think
maybe
that
that's
plays
it. But come on, it's Disney. They've got the money to pump into
Still,
it.
Yeah, no, that's still
It's
the
still
reason
good.
they are Disney is because they don't make silly decisions with money, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's why
You don't
Joe
see a
Dog
lot
is
of their
not running
films, even
Disney.
their crap films, always make money.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like
All right,
Black
what else
Widow
we
made a
got?
lot of money.
Yeah, here we go. This is one of the Wrecking Crew. We didn't have a shot. Rick didn't get a shot of all 4 of them, which would have been better, but never mind.
That hat
Well, this is my game next week. Sorry, boys. Sorry.
that hat was awful.
It was Bob the Builder, no joke.
Yeah, the
It
whole
was
Wrecking
like they
Crew. Was,
ripped it straight
Yeah,
off the
yeah.
footage of-
and then, like, did you guys notice, like, the guy who had the arm shield thing? It
None of
glued.
it looked metal.
It was off.
all
It was
plastic.
off.
No.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. It was like a weak what is it? Power Rangers. Remember the Power
Yeah,
Rangers in
yeah,
the
yeah.
90s?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
I you too harshly. That's
Yeah.
uh,
That's
All
her
right,
breaking
now-
the fourth wall.
The fourth wall.
yeah.
That was the
I
beginning.
particularly like her breaking the fourth wall. I like the fact that she's not driving in this bit
Yeah.
because it not only says I can't
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to you as an audience. Hey man, I'm in a car being towed right now because we're filming a TV show called She-Hulk. That's what I liked about that.
Yeah.
She's so wonderful. In fact, dare I say, I'm more excited to watch her as her. I'm more excited to watch Jennifer Walters being Jennifer Walters than I am She-Hulk.
As she is She-Hulk.
Tatiana is that good.
She's a great
That
actress.
fantastic
Yeah.
on the end screen. You're locked into her.
Yeah.
And of course, the infamous.
The twerk.
There it
scene. There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
Right.
weird.
Very kind of.
Megan Stallion's butt looks better than She-Hulk's butt.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. And let's have a look at this shot right now. If you have a look at the size, look how distorted they've done her butt in that particular
It's
frame.
way too big.
Yeah. It's
That's
so
like-
weird.
Too big.
They've got the same Photoshop artists that the Kardashians use, I think.
I think so.
Those
Break
legs
the
are
internet.
just like way too thick. It just looks weird. Like
Yeah.
those
Look,
the cankles
for the-
kind of look like the
yeah.
body is thinner on the top, but and not even the butt. The legs are just like tree trunks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do we see more of Megan now because she's signed up to be Jen's?
No, I think she
Jen's-
No, it's
that's
a one and
cameo.
done.
You reckon this is it? One it.
I
done?
just
One
cycle those cameos through, mate. That's what they'll
Yeah,
be doing.
yeah. She might come back,
as a
but
client,
it won't
might
be.
come
a
back.
superhero
Yeah.
defense lawyer.
Yeah, she may come back once or twice, but I don't think.
And
it'll
that's
be
what I'm
permanent.
looking forward to is like
Yeah.
the D grade villain or hero of the week that she's representing.
Yeah,
Because
Yep.
this is the show where you can have the throwaway villain each week. In fact,
Right.
it's built for that.
yeah,
And it makes it funny that we get these little known characters that maybe we read once in a comic book from 1987. And now, boom, they get a run in She-Hulk. I think that works.
What do we got? There's 9 episodes, isn't there? There's 9
Yeah, yeah.
episodes.
And I'll
Nice.
tell you
So
what,
we've still
you know
got
what,
time.
you know what really pisses me off though with this whole toxic fan thing though is just like the need for a lot of people to have this tied into the MCU. Like it has to be intrinsically tied. Now I like everything joining together. Don't get me wrong. But essentially, it doesn't have to be though. Does this show have to lead into something else?
yes.
It does. Why?
Because otherwise, why make the show? Why would you have a standalone that
Because
doesn't connect?
we're exploring She-Hulk as a character.
It's
We're
an
not
exploratory.
exploring the MCU show.
Mm.
So,
I think
like,
it has to connect because you're gonna want to
I'm
have a
saying
payoff.
connect, but
It has to because I
be-
mean they connected the fucking cartoons. Like
Yeah,
those
I
know.
what ifs ended
All
up
the shows
connecting.
connect.
Yeah, so
I'm not saying they
everything's
can't
connected.
have
I
any
know, all the
MCU
shows.
connection. I'm
Yeah.
saying, do we have to ram it down our throats? Like, we know she's in the 616 universe. We've had characters, but for all of a sudden, if we didn't get any more cameos from the MCU at all, but we started getting introduced to these other characters, why can't we go like that for a while? And then once the season, come back to the MCU. I just think, well, the problem we're having is we so want everything to be connected that I think it's strangling some of the storytelling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because every time you have to then grab someone and connect it. And I really want to go on the
And you gotta
journey
do
of
homework.
Jennifer Walters. That's what I'm focused on. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel the air just getting sucked out of this virtual room
Yep.
now.
Mm.
You know what, Jason? Bring down the mood. No, either way, hey, look, I'm just also still in a bit of shock that everyone seems to hate it out there. This show.
I don't know why.
Am I the only one to think that? Did everyone else
No.
read this stuff?
No, I read it. Yeah, I read it. You're right. They really don't like. It's because there's this right now in the States anyway. There's this big anti woke movement. We have a leader in one of the southern states that's removing books and TV shows, and he's fighting with Disney because the company's too woke, and it's a huge movement, which doesn't really make sense to me. There's a lot of male fragility on the internet, if you ask me.
But-
and I really don't think it's warranted. I think the show is fun, and I think the show is well written. And
Every single one of us here grew up in a world where we didn't have this stuff.
yeah,
Correct.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
could
the
only
internet.
dream of having something like this.
right.
We had.
And it just seems like you don't like it. You don't like it, man. Turn it off. Go.
Yeah,
watch
but
something
don't
else.
bitch on the internet. Grow up.
It's the viciousness.
Yeah, it's like
I
get a
mean, if
fucking
you grew
life.
up in a
man.
world where you had to watch like the David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury, Agent of Shield.
Yeah,
Exactly.
or the
Then
Dolph
with the
Lundgren
OG
Punisher.
Flash
Forgive
show.
some of the stuff.
Oh,
It'd be like,
yeah.
or if you saw like the Generation X movie that was on
Oh
Fox.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, Birds of
Before,
Prey.
like, the
Remember
X-Men
that
movie
Birds
came
of
out
Prey
in
was
theaters.
shitty, yeah.
Oh yeah, Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Before Batwoman,
Yeah,
there was Birds of Prey.
there was an awful
Even one of the
yeah.
actresses from Batwoman was on Birds of Prey.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy,
that's right.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, but it's
Here's some
it's just it's okay to be critical about this stuff, isn't it? But just because that's what we do. We're commentators. We're commentating on things
But,
we
you know,
like. It's great to be, but you're just like, dude, man, if this is what it's come to, that you've got to rip into She-Hulk because it's not just
Oh.
like, man,
Do you know what it
Go
is?
find something to
about
do.
creativity and stuff that they do into like trashing some of the stuff and actually made new content.
yeah,
It's just
As much
Yeah.
as I gotta still say this because I've mentioned Jessica Jones and a couple of like the other Marvel characters.
yeah.
Brian Michael Bendis pitched a Spider-Woman comic book back when he was writing for Marvel, and they told him he couldn't use Jessica Drew as a private investigator because having her as an alcoholic as being an Avenger was considered too damaging for the character.
Yeah.
So he changed the name of the character in the scripts from Drew to Jessica Jones, changed her physical description, and suddenly new character. He gave her new powers and new origin, and he basically redid his entire script. But Spider-Woman pitch became Alias, which is also Jessica Jones, which is the Netflix show.
Mhm.
Wow.
He also
That's interesting.
changed Carol Danvers into Patty Walker.
Okay.
Deep Cuts by Billy.
Yeah.
Savage.
Well, Brendan's
Wait,
not here, so somebody has to do the
I'm
comic
gonna
book
have to
stuff.
make it graphic. Yeah. No,
Just-
definitely.
just
yeah,
everyone's an
well-
expert now, you know, because of social
But
media.
things change,
Everyone's
and I think
coming
that's
out,
what Billy's
you know. Yeah.
Billy's point is things change and evolve, and you know, if it's not your iteration, then fucking go read, watch, draw your iteration.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
getting
and one thing
getting
that
all
I'm
preachy here.
yeah, we're getting so preachy. One thing I'm looking forward to is that there's an arc in the comic that I'm sure they're going to bring up, especially if this show continues in more than one season, is where they try to frame She-Hulk, but it's so cheesy the way they do it in the comic because they come up with like a robot She-Hulk and they put a wig on an Iron Man costume, basically, and she goes around destroying stuff. And this has the connection with the mob boss, Nick Trask. So I think that this is going to be an arc, especially, I mean, we were talking about Kingpin. Kingpin ends up taking and consolidating power in New York City, but Nick Trask was there before Kingpin took consolidated. So this could be a larger arc with the new Daredevil show where they're dealing with this new mob boss and they have to, you know, get that out of the way. And then, you know, Kingpin kind of, you know, or unlikely ally.
Could they? Let me throw this theory at you. You know what? She-Hulk's very famous comic run where she finds out who's drawing her.
Yeah.
Remember that? And then,
remember
she
that.
go to the offices and things like that.
Yeah.
Could they do that with this show? Where
Could they-
She-Hulk figures out
Maybe.
that
That'd be cool.
you know, Marvel Studios is making a show about her, and
That'd
she
be
goes
cool.
to the offices to confront them.
Especially
Could they do that?
They could, because if you think about it, every time she came out of the prison, they had a new like tabloid story for her. Oh, you're pregnant with the
Oh, yeah.
Abominations kid. Oh, I heard you got rejected from the Avengers. Is that why you're a lawyer? Like, so
I just think
that would be
most
funny.
people would. I would love it, and I would get it, and I would. But the problem is,
People
you're
hate
getting
it.
fanboys like that, like who've reacted
Mm-hmm.
negatively against She-Hulk. They're all going to be going, but now if Marvel knows this and it all doesn't work anymore, they wouldn't be able to go. That was fucking awesome and hilarious, and now we'll move on. You know, it's not that important that she
Right.
met. You know what I mean? I just think I want it to happen. You can't do it because people take it too literal. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
The same audience who love Civil War, who put Civil War in their top 3 films of Marvel, which is generally voted, has nothing to do with the comic book
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
It's a very bare skeletal, like similarities, but it is not the comic book. And everyone loves that. So why can't we change things up?
It's supposed to, because especially with legalities or, you know, certain character ownerships, you couldn't have even in the Infinity Gauntlet had an eighth of the characters that were in the comic, and nobody
Yeah.
bitched about that. They still
Not at
regulate
all.
that as the top Marvel film. So
Exactly.
get over yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I love Infinity War, which is based on Infinity Gauntlet, but Infinity Gauntlet is a love story.
Yeah.
And that
It's about-
character's not even in it.
In the movie, yeah, Mistress Death is not
Exactly.
even
Death is
mentioned.
not even, and a massive. I mean, the core motivation for Thanos to do what he is to court death.
Yeah.
And none of that is completely kind of dismissed.
No. So you internet geeks need to do something else.
Yeah, back off, all right. We've gone
Yeah.
into the She-Hulk.
Calm down.
We're done
Yeah.
Calm
Yeah.
down.
Calm down.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like me when I'm
Jeez.
flying angry. You know?
now. I don't know how it came to this, guys. I do apologize. I feel bad.
No, but it's right. You're right,
Get
though.
into
It's
a
like,
preach thing, you know.
yeah.
But there's not much more to say about this episode. I think you're either on board or you're not, right?
Yeah.
You either
Yeah,
think
right.
it's fun or you
Correct.
don't.
Correct. And I think it's
It's
great.
as simple as that.
Yeah.
And I think this is a crossroads episode where people will either make a decision. I'm on board or I'm not on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody have numbers on how the show's doing? Like people watching?
They don't release them, do they, anymore? It sucks.
Right?
They don't do ratings anymore. The only information you get is, it's our number one stream show on our platform.
Oh,
But I
they're gonna
don't think that. I don't know if Box Office Mojo do an aggregation of some. I might
Someone
not
no.
have
know.
one.
Well, Box
Surely.
Office Mojo just got bought out by IMDb, so who knows?
Okay.
So they
Okay.
probably won't.
Right,
they
there
don't-
goes that. Their data.
Yeah.
You really trust what they do now.
Exactly.
Oh,
They're toast.
IMDb are the worst.
Yeah.
I miss
they're
when IMDb
toast.
used to have comments. I used to enjoy that. That was like
Because you got to yell
the
at
comments
people.
pages.
That was a good old days, Billy.
You don't know the fuck you're talking about, you son of a bitch. Really?
I love it when you go and find the shittiest films in IMDb because you know there's someone who loves that film.
Yeah,
They love
yeah.
it so much that they're
And you
willing
just-
to put a comment on there.
Right. This
Oh,
film
I love
changed
people
my
putting
life.
like fake stuff in there. Like they would put like,
Yeah.
oh, my favorite scene of Multiverse of Madness was when Obi-Wan fought Morbius.
Yeah. Yeah. People
I mean,
were like, what? What's going on?
Yeah, people would be like, wait, when did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Somebody just was messing
Shitting on
with me.
people's dreams.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think that kind of ties it up. I think we've kind of pretty well gone over what we wanted to go over this week with She-Hulk. We'll be back next week, I assume. Will we, guys? Yes. we
Yeah.
will be.
I bet. Yeah.
We'll be
yeah.
back every
I'll be
week.
back. Yeah.
We're
I'll be
riding
here.
this train to the end.
Yep, we might
That's
have more
right.
people, we might have less people, we might have I have no idea.
I don't know. We
Whatever,
just, it's,
We're still waiting
Yeah.
for you to play that piano, Billy.
You get on it, Billy.
yeah.
I want to hear some. Do the She-Hulk theme.
Yeah.
No,
man,
he's
by
got a
Blue Joel.
Hulk scene.
Yeah, we'll do the
Yeah.
Devil
Oh,
Hulk in
yeah.
1
Hulk
week.
one. You know, he's walking down. Just do that.
Yeah.
Do it. Get on it.
All right, guys. Now you can follow us all on our social media links. Will be down on the links below.
Yep.
But until then, until next week, don't forget about all the other shows on this channel. Isn't that right, Joe?
Yeah,
We've
absolutely. We've got
What have we got on our channel at the moment?
We've got our space exploration where we're diving deep into Star Trek and all things Star Trek down in the Captain's Quadrant, where
Yeah.
Jason and I co-host with another group of fray of wondrous people to talk about all things Star Trek. And this iteration is Lower Decks. We're going to have so
Yeah,
much fun on
funny.
Monday. Make sure you join us on Monday and ring that bell so you're notified, because I see a lot of you guys coming in. We're almost over. We have the most people watching right now.
And we're bailing. We're doing our sign off.
Yeah. So, ring that
Yeah,
bell
mate.
so you could be,
Yeah, ring that
in
bell
the
so you can be
beginning.
notified.
In the beginning. And then we have a great show called The Power of J Skull and the Masters of the Universe, where Jason and Jason, not a law firm, come together to talk to you about all things He-Man related, even into She-Ra. So the expanded universe of the
I
He-Man.
have, and my favorite thing was was the thing we just watched, which was She-Ra. She-Ra right now is my favorite He-Man thing.
Wow.
I'm loving that show. It's a fun show to do.
Yeah,
I hate to ruin one thing for you, but
Do it,
they did the same thing that they did to the Flash on CW.
Yeah.
Why do they not accept that foster siblings are still siblings?
Is this
Because
I don't
Catra and
know why.
Adora are basically sisters
Yeah,
raised
yeah,
by
yeah.
Spellcaster, and Well, I'm not sure how far you got into the show, but
No, look, I'm only new, so you might be adding spoilers here, Billy. So
Yeah, Billy.
Oh,
we'll talk about this one off
jeez,
show,
Billy.
I think.
Yeah.
sorry.
Don't ruin it for me.
You
I'm
know,
new
there's this
to it.
movie Soylent Green, and I can tell you, Soylent Green.
Oh my God.
And-
And
Andrew,
in
he's-
Sixth
he's
Sense, I
cool.
can tell you, Bruce Willis.
oh no. In this other M. Night Shyamalan movie. And please don't forget, we've got a lot of other upcoming stuff. We're going to do a total 1 week later of the Game of Thrones show that's out right now. We have 1 week later, which is a great way to recap. And instead of doing weekly, we do it all at once. And looking forward, we're going to dive into all the things that come out for the month. So this month of September, we're talking about The Rings of Power. We're talking about Clerks 3. We're talking about the Quantum Leap reboot that's coming out this month. which
Wow,
I
does that
didn't
come
even
out
know
this
about.
month?
Yeah, so you didn't watch the
Wow.
show. You got to go watch it. So
Yeah, I didn't
make
watch
sure
the
you
show.
check it out.
Wow.
Yeah. Make sure you
Quantum
watch it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you're producing every other show.
Yeah, I know. And that's got Ernie Hudson in it. So I was very surprised to see who's
OG Ghostbuster.
the OG Ghostbusters. So lots to unpack, lots to unwind, and really entertain your butt. So come back and ring that bells and subscribe, and
Fantastic.
we'll be there. All right, guys.
All right, guys. This menagerie of psychopaths will see you next week.
Yep.
We'll see you then.
See you.